Hey Eurovision fans, today I'm doing my reaction and analysis to Luxembourg song for Eurovision 2025. That's Laura Thorn singing that Poupée Monte le Son. I'm going to listen and react to the live performance, give you my analysis of the song, the lyrics. We'll talk about if it can qualify and what it could do in the Eurovision final. So, let's kiki. Hi, my name is Tom. I'm an Irish Eurovision analyst and you can find all of this stuff on my Eurovision channel. So of course I did my initial reaction to Laura's song in my Luxembourg reaction video and also did my analysis of it in the analysis video as well. Let's quickly talk about the national final, the Luxembourg Song Contest. I thought it was pretty well put together. I have to admit, Conchita was kind of driving me crazy towards the end with all the stalling. To be honest, there's other national finals which stall a lot more, so we should probably be grateful. Overall, I think it's pretty well run. They love big cameos. We had so many Eurovision cameos just like last year. Huge surprise with the televote winner. 0.5 were not on my radar at all. They're bottom of the Eurovision scoreboard and they ended up really winning the televote. So huge surprise. In the end, Laura Thorn relied on the jury to get her through and be selected to go to Basel. Okay, now we're going to check out the live performance. Because I've already reacted to the song, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on her vocals and the staging instead. I will play as much of the original audio and visuals as I'm allowed to. If I do need to make changes, I'll put the original up onto my Patreon. Again, watching the video on the official Eurovision channel, so we get to see a little bit of the graphics as well that they're going to be using for the song releases. Okay, this is Laura Thorn, Wanna Know My Secret Bang. Ooh, graphics. I remember this bit. Love this reference to France Gaulle. Fabulous. Costume is fun. The hair is a little bit, there's something about Mary. And the toys on the back as well. They have to make sure that they get the theme right of the song. Dancers are cool though, I like their energy. And she's moving well, giving us a little bit of doll. They've got to get the theme across to the viewers though, so they need to be very clever. Really important though, she sounds super clean. Very clear, sounds very similar to the radio edit, which is excellent. And we're getting a sense of manipulation. They are moving and pulling and pushing her. We want to see that fight back though. Not too much doll and robot. They need to be careful. It could come across as goofy. Dancers are great though. Love that picture with them and the three. Pink and blue is a color palette. Maybe you want to see something a little bit more original. She's doing great though. Not mind her dress. I like the stockings. She's giving great face though. She's got a really, really great alertness. Still not massively getting the story of the song in the staging yet, so this needs to be elevated. I'd like to see more like manipulation above her with strings or something, and her breaking free, cutting them. Vocals still sound really good. And she's having to hit a lot of marks, so this is challenging. So she's doing a really great job. I love the shock bit, and I like that. That's cool from the dancers. Okay, I like these dancers coming in, and a little bit of mystery. Who are they? Not mad on the graphics. I think they could be a little bit better. The teddy bear maybe gives the wrong impression. Costume reveal could have been more of an event. I'd like to see it ripped off. But it does allude to the meaning of the song, so that's cool. Yeah, and I like the two female dancers coming on because it's like they're joining her as power sisters. Big notes. Lovely. Double lovely. Different from the radio edit, but that third one was nice as well. Oh, fabulous. Her back to back with him at the end I don't really get. Unless she's leaning on him. It's very wonderful though. It's very flirty and happy and bouncy. Okay, first of all, let's focus on the song. So I love this song because this starts to build up Luxembourg's identity for me in the contest. I didn't really get Fighter last year. It sounded a little bit dated to me, like something from Eurovision 1996. It was very well put together and actually got a pretty good response, but I didn't feel like it started to build Luxembourg's identity. Now Laura Thorn comes in and I have the two of them together. I am starting to get Luxembourg's identity. It's this kind of cute nod to the past, their prior success. I don't think it's them trying to rehash previous success, but it's like a nostalgia for the old competition, being one of the 7 original countries to start the contest. So I'm getting a little bit of history here. I'm getting nostalgia. I'm getting this broad appeal that I think all generations would like. I think kids would really, really, really enjoy this song. They're obviously not going to understand the deeper meaning of it, but they're going to love this playful imagery on stage, this very accessible beat. This song is energetic. It's got variation. It doesn't just sit on the same melody 3 times. She sings so wonderfully on stage. I was so happy about that. I got to be honest, when I was watching the national final, the vocals was the main thing I was looking out for. And once I heard that she was singing it really well, despite moving around so much, she did such a great job here. It sounded really, really clean, very similar to the radio edit, except her third big note, she goes down instead of going up. That's fine. It still sounds really, really cool. And the first 2 big notes sound really clean as well. I'm starting to feel who are Luxembourg now in the contest. And I was worried because when they rejoined the contest, I was like, who are they going to be? Like, what is Luxembourg? What's their vibe? What's their style going to be? And I was worried that they were just going to bend with the wind and it was going to be whatever songs came into the national final. They just picked the best one, even if it had nothing to do with the country or who they are. That's kind of what I felt last year with Fighter. And this year, I'm starting to get a little bit more of a feel. Like I said, this connecting thread through the 2 songs, it starts to make sense now. And it makes me appreciate Fighter a little bit more. I'm really happy they've managed to start building a personality in Eurovision on only their 2nd attempt. I think this is such a wonderful entry. It's really cute, but it has a very real message, but it's done in a super playful way. I love the reference to France Gall, Le Poupée de Cire, Poupée de Son. Wonderful. Self-referential within Eurovision, within Luxembourg, a homage to her as well. I love as well that it's on the 60th anniversary of that song winning, which is perfect. You know, maybe this song could have been put in last year, but the 59th anniversary doesn't have the same power as 60th. It gives the commentators something to talk about. They'll be like, this song references that, which won 60 years ago. I think people will instantly see France Gall. I love that intro where it burns away. And it's like, this is the modern take on that song with a modern woman still wanting the same things that France Gall had. I absolutely love that connection. It's very meta. It's very breaking down the 4th wall. I think it's really, really cool. And, you know, I'm always going to be a fan of songs that have interesting and new lyrics because we get so much love from above and I'm standing strong. And really, really great song. I've downloaded this. I've listened to it. I think it's really, really fun and catchy. Love that it's in French as well. Just giving us something that's not English. Really, really wonderful. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the lyrics and see what she's singing about. I'm going to read you out the lyrics in English. This is translated from on Eurovision World. La Poupée Monte le Son, the doll turns up the sound. If you see me as a perfect doll who smiles and then shuts up whenever you wish, forget me, I'm not your puppet. I'd like to see a little bit more of that puppet manipulation song. We did see it with them like turning her, but I want to even see marionette dolls and strings being cut. That's how it is. That's how it is. Your little game is over. If you believe a man like you is manipulating me, go back to mummy, you better give up, or else I'm the one who will dismantle you. Beware, beware, because I'm taking the controls. So there's a lot of female empowerment here about strength in women, not being manipulated, not being looked down on, having your decisions disregarded. This is where I'm a little bit worried about the staging because it does kind of just look like a toy box staging. So I think some people who don't speak French might misinterpret it, that it's like, I'm a princess who likes toys. We've got toys in the background. She's wearing a pink baby doll dress. Her hair is done in a slightly infantile way. So I think they just need to do a little bit better job of really explaining that she's initially out of control and she breaks out. They do that with the dress reveal. I would like that to be a little bit more of a clear moment so people at home really can't get confused about what's happening on stage. New instruction manual, I can do everything without you. It's another pattern, another era. I make my voice heard. So above all, don't play the ventriloquist. Yeah, I would almost like her to have someone on stage who plays the bad guy. I think the 3 dancers were kind of doing that, although it wasn't super clear that they were kind of a antagonist to her. You could be confused for thinking they're like 3 suitors or something, where in reality, I think we need someone on stage who's playing the oppressor and she is fighting and then defeating him. The chorus, the doll turns up the sound. Remember the lesson, the doll turns up the sound. Watch out, my boy, the doll turns up the second verse. If you thought I was fragile like porcelain or more malleable like polyethylene. Shout out for getting polyethylene into a Eurovision song. I'm not like that. I need oxygen. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. A new world is calling me. If you were planning to display me in your showcase with your complete collection of figurines, sorry for you, but I alone determine where my heart goes. Yes, I'm pulling the strings. I love that image of the showcase as well. That could be something they put at the start where she's trapped. I want to see a little bit more confinement and she's breaking out. I want to get that sense of a beginning of being trapped, an ending of fighting and being free. Okay, the bridge, your doll as you call her, turns up the decibels. She's the echo of a new generation without rags or plastic. In her characteristics, your doll leads the music. And then chorus until the end. Really wonderful lyrics. Talking about female empowerment, which we do get a lot, but sometimes we get in this quite repetitive way. Put on a crown, I'm a queen, I'm a goddess. We've had that before. It's just been done to death and it doesn't mean as much now because it just sounds like recycled ideas. This is a new way of doing it. Talking about a puppet who's breaking out of her strings, also referencing a previous winner. Really fun lyrics. I really think this elevates the song massively. So I'm a huge fan. Let's talk a little bit more about the staging. I touched on a little bit there, but let's go into a little bit more detail about what Luxembourg can do. The baby doll dress, I think, is fine if the context is explained. I think most people, when they're watching, they're going to see all the toys in the background, her in the dress. They might think this is like an infantile thing, a Veruca Salt, I want toys. I think they need to move away from that. So having her trapped at the start, bound down, they could go for something pretty edgy like Milo did in MGP where she's tied down, or in a display case and she breaks out of it. Something like that to really show that she's constrained at the start, despite the fact she's in this like very airy, happy dress. I'd like to see a little bit more high fashion in the outfit. Maybe they could get a Luxembourg designer to just like glitz it up a little bit. That's a pretty standard thing between national finals and the final. Her hair, I don't know. I think maybe it's a little bit too much like There's Something About Mary. Yeah, I get the impression they're going for a little bit of a Robbie Rotten feel with the kind of gelled hair, making it look like it's plastic. I think it ends up looking a little bit There's Something About Mary, that scene with their hair slicked up. So I think the idea is cool, just maybe better execution. Maybe we could go for a pure gel back look. Performance-wise, I thought Laura Thorn was absolutely excellent. She did a lot of work on stage and she's going to practice and hopefully get even better. But I think she did really fantastic. She moved around so much here. She had marks where she was being pushed and pulled. She kept the microphone a good length throughout the whole thing. She really did exceed my expectations because I was a little bit worried because she was a slightly unknown entity, how she would rise to the occasion. And she totally rose to it. So full credit to her. Color palette wise, the blues and pinks, I think it's a little bit predictable. Maybe I want something just a little bit different. I'm not mad on the toys behind her. I think it could be done in a slightly more elevated way. Love having the dancers on stage. Presumably they're going to be elevated even further with the final stage show. Again, maybe having 3 dancers, but one of them is like a main one who's manipulating her the most, might just get the message of the song across even more and give a little bit more of a storyline in the performance. He could just have like a different colored jacket or something, a little bit more elaborate costuming. The back-to-back moment at the end, I don't particularly get why is she back-to-back with him, unless she just needs to lean on someone, like literally. And I think they've definitely got some good ideas. So it's not like they're starting from square one. I just think they need to edit, make the story more clear. They've got a great artist and a great song. Definitely got good potential here. Okay, speaking of which, is Luxembourg going to qualify for the final? So Luxembourg are going to be in semi-final number 2. They're in the second half. So in the bigger semi-final, they don't have Belgium and Netherlands, which is a little bit of a shame, but they do have Germany and France. Obviously, the song being in French, I think this is going to help a lot. I think there's lots of countries who are like this. I think Ireland will give this points. I think Denmark, Finland, Australia will like this. It does feel like the type of song that Northwest Europe will probably appreciate more. I don't know if Southeast Europe will like it as much, but I think there's more than enough countries here who will like this. Future Tom here, just giving an update as I filmed this video quite a while ago. We now know that Luxembourg are drawn in the 15th slot in semi-final number 2. I think one of their main rivals is Ireland. I feel like thematically, in terms of the joy, energy, bounciness, family-friendly appeal of the song, their main rival is Ireland. So the fact that Ireland was drawn in the 3rd slot and Luxembourg in 15th, I think is definitely going to help them out a lot. You know, there are some other fun, bouncy songs in the second half, like Denmark and Malta. I feel like Malta feels a little bit more adult, but it's definitely still got a big energy. Denmark, I think, could be a big competition for this if they can pull out some uncharacteristically good staging. And then Finland is obviously going to upstage this a little bit as well. But I do feel like this has a little bit of its own niche in being this broad appeal And Fighter did a lot better than I expected last year, and that was only a few slots later than Laura Thorn is this year. I was surprised when Fighter from Tally actually ended up coming fifth in the semi-final with 117 points. So I definitely think there is a market for something that sounds a little bit dated, nostalgic, has a timeless feel, appeals to a lot of different generations. So my gut instinct right now is if this does qualify, it's going to be between 7th and 10th. I'm kind of a borderline yes right now. This was one of the earliest national finals in the season, so they've had a lot of time to do updates and upgrades. So what we could see at the contest could be quite different. So the degree of upgrade will give me more or less confidence in this qualifying. My gut instinct right now is that yes, maybe in the 9th or 10th spot, but I think I would have said the same about Tally last year and she came 5th. And she was in a very difficult semi-final. That was the semi-final where the first 5 songs qualified from the first half, but Tally got points from every single country. I wonder, was an element of that the kind of novelty of Luxembourg returning to the contest and Europe wanting to support them on their return? Or was it genuinely just that this type of safe pop actually goes down really well with a certain demographic? But one thing's for sure, being 15th in the running order is going to give this a huge boost. Luxembourg wanting to hold on to that 100% qualification record that they're currently tying with Ukraine. And this slot that they've got is really good. You can see 66% of people have qualified from the 15th slot in the semifinals. Okay, if it makes it through to the grand final, what could this do? I think this could be similar to Fighter, where this does extremely well with the jury. This did so well in the Luxembourg Song Contest in the jury. I definitely think the jury would appreciate this. The references to Eurovision, the song is super family friendly. It's not like the most radio friendly song ever, but it's really competent, very catchy. She sings it very well. The vocals sound good. I just think there's so many things here that jury people look for. Televote wise, I think this can definitely appeal to older and younger generations alike. Depends if there's other songs that are kind of fighting for that niche. We know Leonore did really, really well with Family Vote. Fighter did pretty decently with it last year as well. So I would expect the jury score to be bigger than the televote score, but I would think this has potential to be mid-table, possibly creeping to the left side if the staging really, really, really elevates. Let's have a quick check at the odds. And this is currently sitting in 35th place. It's not going to win Eurovision. We definitely know that. I think if you want to bet on this, it makes more sense with the qualifier odds. Okay, and finally, let's look at the Eurovision scoreboard. Okay, so this is currently sitting in 24th place on the Eurovision scoreboard out of 37 songs. It was in the top 10 for a really, really long time. I think one of the reasons it's fallen down so low is just the fact that this was the 4th song chosen in the season. So if it had been chosen more recently, maybe it'd be higher. Keep in mind, people voting in the Eurovision scoreboard get drip fed the songs throughout the season, whereas casuals watching the semi-finals get all of them for the first time, all at the same time. There's definitely a recency and time bias on the Eurovision scoreboard. The fact that this held on to the top 10 for such a long time is a pretty decent indicator for me. But because this has such a family-friendly appeal, I am kind of expecting it to be something that sits better with casuals than it does with Eurovision fans. Okay, that's what I thought about Laura Thorn singing La Poupée Monte le Son. What did you think? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting me on Buy Me Coffee and PayPal. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave a QR code for you here. And of course, thank you to all my wonderful patrons for patronizing me from all around the world. On my Patreon, you get the original audio and visuals when I get copyrighted. You can get some early releases, you can be in the credits, and you can support the channel and lots more. Go check it out if you're a fan. But of course, thank you so much just for being here. And I hope to see you on another Eurovision analysis video very, very soon. Goodbye.